I'm sorry if I ask questions again, but can you tell me a little bit about the inspiration of Wildcat? Where did it come from?
Well, obviously the inspiration is Flannery O'Connor herself. My mother gave me Flannery O'Connor books when I was a young man because I seemed to only be interested in male authors, and she really wanted me to open my eyes a little bit wider. And so she gave me Flannery. And then, to my surprise, when Maya was about 15 or 16, she discovered Flannery on her own. And she was really impressed with, there's a book that Flannery, well, it came out after she died, obviously. It was called her Prayer Journal. And it was her letters to God when she was a young woman. And Maya was extremely hypnotized by these because this is a young woman that was facing death. She had lupus, and her father had died of lupus, and so she didn't expect to live very long. And it pitched her life in kind of a fever. And she grew up in the Jim Crow South, extremely racist environment. And it put her world in a very, she was in a very complex situation because she was being raised in a manner that was very hypocritical to the Christian values that she was being taught, and her brain was breaking. The love she had for her family, combined with the hypocrisy she felt around her, it made for some very compelling art. And I found it very interesting, and my wife found it very interesting, and Maya found it very interesting, and we started wondering if we could make a movie about this. And the idea centrally was to use her own writing to tell her story, to not defend her or hyperbolize her, but to hear her voice. And so most of the script is taken from her stories and from her letters and from her journals. And that was a fun project, to try to use somebody's writing to create a portrait of them.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. I actually ordered all the books when I came out of Wildcat yesterday.
Yeah, you should. I highly recommend, if you read the complete short stories book, it's extremely good. And they do the stories in kind of order that she wrote them. And so the last 7 or 8 are really major works of art. I mean, all of them are good, but by the end of her life, which was, she wasn't very old, in her mid-30s, she's writing at an extremely high level.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it when I get home.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Delivered. And what was it like for you to see Maya transform into Flannery? Because she really transforms. I don't feel like I'm looking at Maya Hawke anymore.
Well, I always think that when you see a great performance, there's a hypnosis that happens, that you kind of hypnotize the audience. And to hypnotize the audience, you have to be hypnotized. You kind of have to hypnotize yourself. And it was, I cannot tell you how much fun it was to work on some of these scenes with Maya and watch her play with the language and work on the writing to assist her and to use her brain to find out what was interesting to her and what helped her get under the spell of the character. I don't know. I have a feeling that the way I'll feel about this in 25 years will be really profound. Right now we were so involved in just trying to do it and get it done. But I'm so proud of her, not for doing something so daring, something so weird, so wild. I love that we're here at this film festival and we're not selling anything. We're really trying to engage the audience in a conversation, which feels really exciting to me.
Well, that's actually my next question, because of course movies are entertainment, but I do feel like there's a lot of movies, especially in film festivals, that bring a message, or a message people can take home with them. What do you hope that people do you want them to discuss?
The conversations around making the film were so exciting, so interesting to me, that I hope that they're contagious. But really what I love about film festivals is something's happened over the period of my lifetime where movies have kind of evolved from an art form into a unit of sale. You know, you hear these words, you know, like content or these. They need to be something more than entertainment. I mean, they should be entertaining, but like you know, if you eat a bad meal, it satisfies your hunger and then you feel sick afterwards. And I feel the same way about a lot of movies. They satisfy your desire to be engrossed and to get out of your own life for a second, but then they leave you feeling a little sick. And the movies that feel really good to me are the ones that start when the end credits roll. You know, it's not about the movie itself, it's about what it conjures in you. And sometimes if you make a really specific movie, it might not be interesting at all to a certain group of people, but to another kind of person, it might be really engaging. So in a lot of ways, you're looking for friends. You're looking for like-minded souls that are interested in the conversation that you're interested in having. And when movies try to be too general, not to offend anybody or the thing, then there's no conversation afterwards.